Let's do this. Zach Show.
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? You're here with Dan and Heather, too.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy Monday.
I'm doing really good, sitting here, with all my dogs and hanging out, so I'm feeling good, and the song is doing well, and people are loving the new song, so everything is good right now.
Congratulations. Nothing breaks like a heart. Beautiful record, powerful record, to say the least. When did you come into it? Did the record start that one day that you go to the studio with Mark? Did you hear any of it before, like a lyric or a piece of production? Take us to the beginning.
Well, actually, Mark has a story that I'm not 100% sure that I remember it happening exactly this way, but this is the way he tells it. So apparently he says that he called me for 7 years and I never responded to any of his calls or emails or texts. I don't remember this happening, but he said he keeps telling me this is the way that it played out. And I remember getting a text from him one day that he had a song that he had kind of started working on the production, and he had kind of an idea, I think, of a scratch kind of first verse. And, it does kind of have some of that Dolly country feel, but it's really, I think, married beautifully to his kind of classic, takes on, pop music. And so there was a piece of production there. And then I guess after not responding for 7 years, I said, okay, I'll see you in an hour. Let's meet up right now. And that's kind of the way that I always am. If I'm feeling inspired or if I'm feeling in the moment, I want to get there and, whatever's on my heart, kind of lay that down. And so him and I ended up working on that song together, but we had just so much creative chemistry that we then locked in and started working on my next record together. And I've made a lot more songs since then. But it was actually kind of, weird, almost kind of a premonition. Actually, in one of the first verses, we actually did this song in Malibu, and I actually wrote the line, "This burning house, there's nothing left, it's smoking," before anything that had happened to me in my personal life of my loss of Malibu. And so I just really, never have believed more than I do now that timing is everything, and that the universe kind of always has that impeccable timing and just follow its lead. And so I think this is a great, first choice for me, kind of, coming out of this blackout and what message did I want to say. And I think the video did an amazing, job of kind of conveying the important things to me with the Happy Hippie Foundation and what I like to, kind of work on philanthropically, but also, keeping it fun and entertaining and focused on celebrity culture and pop culture, which I also love.
Very real goosebumps right now because it is the perfect combination of everything. And the record sounds nothing like I've ever heard before in the best possible way. And there's something there between you and Mark. It's beautiful, and he understands you obviously, and you understand him.
I think something nice about this song is it feels really modern and new, but I do think there's something kind of reminiscent to it. I do think there's some part of, I think people have. It's actually funny because when we started writing this song, "Nothing Breaks Like a Heart," we thought there was no way that we had come up with this. It feels like such a classic title that we're like, this can't be ours. We can't be the first one to write a song like this. And it was one of those moments that we just felt really, I think, kind of honored that I always believe that kind of, the universe gives you these gifts of these great songs. And so just really honored that it got to be ours because it does feel like, I think, something that feels really classic. And even though it does feel new and maybe like something you haven't heard before, there is something to it that I feel like feels like something you could have listened to on vinyl, at your parents' house, and hopefully, in the 70s or something. It kind of sounds like early Dolly, but with, again, like I said, the way that Mark kind of reinvents those sounds. He's always done it so amazing, whether it was working with, Amy Winehouse or Adele. No matter what he's worked on, I think he always takes kind of classic sounds and just elevates them and makes them super modern and pop.
What do you learn from your first session with Mark Ronson? What do you learn from him, and what do you learn about him?
That he has really good taste in shoes. Maybe even better than me. He's very classic, and I think for me, I think he's very calm, and I think that's something that has always been my greatest challenge is learning to slow down. And that's something that I've personally been really focused on, learning about myself, and so I think, we and him was really focused on quality versus quantity versus just feeling like you have to overproduce and, kind of run yourself creatively dry. And so I've definitely, kind of take that away from him.
How many songs have you guys done together so far?
We wrote 7 songs on the next record we've gotten together, and I don't know when people are going to get to hear those next, because again, like I said, the universe kind of has that impeccable timing, and this song kind of worked out just perfectly of being that first step kind of out of my blackout, kind of, going off socials and just kind of stepping away and taking personal time to kind of just get creative and figure out what my next sound will be. So we've worked on a bunch of songs for the next record, and I can't wait for people to hear those.
How fun was this music video to make? I loved seeing the dashboard Miley on a wrecking ball or around the rearview mirror. Like all the little nuances, so beautiful.
Thank you so much. We really had a lot of hidden messages in there and a lot of those hidden gems, and it's been really cool to have the fans find those and the viewers find those, because I think there's so much content put out there every day. I didn't know how people would really focus on this particular, piece of work, and people did. They really they've kind of found all those hidden little gems in there, and it's been really fun to watch, people find those.
And the statements are heavy. I mean, seriously, from little girls shooting weapons to football players on their knees to priests at strip clubs. I mean, there's no holding back. It's honesty. It is 2018.
We really wanted to elevate, the song and expand on the idea of what the song means and what's really broken in our society and what really breaks our hearts. And I mean, losing lives of children, I think, is something that's just that pain of what you feel when you hear of a child's life lost was really important for us to focus on that violence, school shootings and gun control, but also, like you said, our broken systems and greed and criticism and judgment. And again, like I said, I think pop culture and politics have always been married, but sometimes it's not happily. I think people can create another divide. And people feeling spoken at instead of, spoken to, and having a conversation and having that open dialogue, and not ever preaching your opinions, but just having that open conversation that feels, like a safe space for people to voice their beliefs. And that's something that has always been really important to me is keeping the music inclusive but also feeling like it still can have a strong, powerful message that means a lot to me, but also just, again, not creating any more of a divide than we already see in our culture.
Was this all coming through when you were in the studio writing? Was this all like very obvious and real on everybody's mind?
I think once we kind of heard the song together, and especially that arrangement that Mark put together with the strings, it just pulls out so much emotion. I really think a lot of what he did, and the words were very personal to me, but I think his production is what took it to that really beautifully kind of melancholy space. And so especially those strings were just so inspiring to me. And so originally I had an idea of, when I was working, I met We Are From LA from Roman Garvas. And so him and I were trying to come up with ideas just in general, I have so much music that I've been wanting to put out and release. So I just kind of wanted to have in my back pocket, like, what are some crazy video ideas we could come up with? And so we had this idea of putting a car in places that it shouldn't be, putting it inside a club, inside a living room. And then when me and Mark decided that Nothing Breaks Like a Heart was going to be his first single and my first, look out of the blackout, we wanted to expand this idea. And so we wanted to put in those those kind of really heartbreaking, things that we're dealing with every single day in our society. But it definitely came from production on Mark's end for sure, and then just living with that and being able to get my message across. But working with We Are From LA was just a dream because they never stop creating. They're coming up with new ideas on the spot, ways that we can kind of deepen the message, and they're just totally genius to work with. And it's just been an amazing experience overall.
I mean this with my heart. You've innovated in a couple different ways here, you and Mark. I mean, it's really remarkable, and I think you got a hit record, which is the most important. Not the most important. The most important thing is that it's a hit record with a real message that deserves to be heard. It's when you can marry both of them, and that's when you're doing it.
This song is, about, my personal experience, personal loss, but again, like the loss we see every single day. And, I don't know what I want to say next to the world. So me and him haven't really talked much about what's next for us musically, but I'm just really excited for people to hear what we've been working on, because everything has this much kind of heart and soul. And I'm really excited for people to hear what else we've come up with as a, collaborative pair. He's been one of my favorite creators to work with ever. And I've gotten to get in the room with him and Andrew Wyatt from Mike Snow. And I've put him in the room with Mike Will, and the things that these kind of musical geniuses are coming up with together, and then me getting to be a part of that and a part of that introduction has just been so sick, and I can't wait for everyone to hear the music.
Beautiful.
What's the crucifixion at the end of the music video represent?
I think again, just this whole video in a way represents I think media and that scrutiny. And again, like I said, kind of that focus on celebrity culture and celebrity criticism versus the kind of, important things in life. So I guess, yeah, celebrity criticism for sure, which can feel like a crucifixion for sure, so.
Miley Cyrus, I appreciate every second you take, truly. And happy belated birthday, by the way. We're a little late.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for you guys and playing the song. So thank you again.
Well, I send you a lot of love. And by the way, a big thank you on behalf of any decent moral human being, just saying thank you for all that you've done. I mean, you gave a lot back in the face of a lot going wrong, and you're a very selfless person. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So you're a good person, and send you a lot of love.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much. And you too. Thank you so much for being so kind on this call. And I look forward to talking to you guys again with hopefully new music.
Anytime, all the time. Our door is always open. Have a beautiful day.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere. So click them. Thanks for watching.